Before that, like every month I'd be France, Holland, Israel, America, then a couple of weeks later back to America, Israel. It would be like that like all the time. So like the last year have been pretty hidden. So this for me is like, I feel like the extreme exposure. But my heart is to be there with my family in that place of extreme hiddenness, just being who I am at home, enjoying God's presence, exploring the supernatural, reading all my books, just meditating. That's who I am. So this was always going to be a massive challenge for me. So I'll always be the monk. Whether I got a monk's robe on it or not is irrelevant. That is who I am. And I find this sort of stuff way more intimidating than just hanging out at home. You know, this stuff is difficult compared to that. Even though I've had an amazing time, a lot of glory on it.
It's been a magical adventure.
It does. Yeah, it does. It does. I love it though.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything.
I probably would, if I could go back, I'd probably change a couple of minor things, but as a whole, I am like 99% satisfied. And like even if I go out and everything has fallen to the ground and I've got to rebuild everything, that's fine. I think some of the things that you fear the first few weeks you come in, by the end of it, they're not even issues anymore. Do you know what I mean? And my fear was I knew that I was taking a risk coming in here, and I knew I was putting a lot of things at stake, and I knew that everything could have like come to a total standstill, and I could have lost everything. But like now, it's almost like I've come through that, and now I realise that like if everything went, then it wasn't worth having anyway. Couldn't have been that strong.
I probably would have changed. Like, I would have. I wouldn't have been like. I shouldn't have been so scared of being evicted. Like that second week when I was faced with it the first time, I was so terrified of being evicted. And looking back on it now, I shouldn't have. Don't know why I was.
But I think the first time you're up for eviction, there is like a little bit of fear there, isn't there? Like, what does the public think of me? I even felt that not so strong the second time I was up. I hadn't been up for like 6 weeks, and then suddenly I'm up again, and I wanted to be up because I thought, what does the public really think of me? And there was a sense of not like fear of eviction, but a nervousness about how the public what the public thought of me. But when you come through those times, it's like that goes, isn't there? It's like you get to the point where you think I don't really care anymore.
Uh-huh.
I think that's why Steve found it so difficult the night before he was evicted.
Yeah, because he'd never
Because
been through that experience.
He'd never been up. He'd never had that experience.
Yeah.
You know?
And the first time he's up, he's out.
Yeah. I wonder what would have happened if he'd have been up week 3, week 4, week 5.
That'd have been crazy.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Little did we know that the first time we were all up, we didn't have to worry about a damn thing.
Yeah, and little did I know that the first time Steve was up, he'd go. I think if it had been a different week, like weeks 5 or 6 or something, he would have stayed. I think it was just because like people had seen a lot of him, and it was like 4 people had to go. It could very well have been that like he was like, almost staying, and like although he got evicted first, could be that like he had the least amount of eviction things of all the people that left. Who knows?
I think quite a few of us in the votes was the difference between a vote to starve a mouse. Because I think we must have been so close, all of us, in votes.
I think so. I think even the people that stayed, I don't think there was a lot
No.
between any of us.
No. I think John probably got the lion's share of votes to go.
Maybe. He said he was thinking he would get 27% of the overall votes, which out of 8 people would have been quite a bit. It would have been double the average, wouldn't it? I reckon probably he may very well have got 20 to 30% of the votes. And I think the others, may have been up around about 10% somewhere. Like you said, who knows? Could very well have been that we were all really, really close. Maybe some people were just in by like the skin of their teeth.
Lady Luck chose to smile on us that night.
Maybe Tom Jones coming out the woodwork. If he has come out the woodwork. I hope he's been doing his canvassing well over the last few days. I think he's going to have to bring Shirley Bassey in and the Stereophonics for me to win. But, like, he may get me into third. Oh, Tom, he put his finger out.
That Friday night, I was at peace. If, like, you know how you say you're at peace?
Yeah.
I was at peace if I was going to go that night. I wasn't...
Yeah, you look rested.
I wouldn't have been gutted.
I know John was saying you looked a bit nervous or whatever, but he did seem rested.
I think no matter how many times you're on that sofa, you'll always get a bit nervous. But out of all the times I've ever been up, I was at the most peace. I thought, well, you know, if I go now, it's only 4 days to the end. And
yeah,
what happens to me is I start thinking, oh, my friends are literally just on the other side of that door.
Yeah.
And as soon as I go out, I can see my friends. And you think, oh, actually, I really do want to see my friends. And you think, well, actually, if I go, it's not a bad thing at all because I'll be seeing my friends. But I'm very happy and very grateful that I've been kept in.
I feel the same. I feel like I owe a massive debt of gratitude to the public for keeping me in, and also at the same time I'm like shocked that I am still in. And what can I say? Imagine how I felt, dude, being up with John the last two, and I think that the one before that, when Sam was evicted, she said the next person to go is, and there was a pause, and someone shouted Dave.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, I must be going. I actually thought that it was, you know, like maybe like some production member that was saying to Davina, you know, that came over a little bit loud, like, oh, the next one to go is, and then the production was Dave. So I was expecting my name to be called.
I heard that as well.
I was expecting my name to be called.
I did wonder what that was all about, but
I did as well. What's that?
Yeah, but it sounded like a positive cheer, didn't it?
Yeah.
Dave.
I like the bit when you two were waiting to find out, so I was going, glory, in the background.
And then I hear my mate Paul, I'm sure it was my mate Paul going, love you, man.
Yeah,
So I
heard that as well.
But, dude, you imagine what I felt like, dude, me and John James, it was like, dude, I'm going, no way, I'm staying. Couldn't believe it, dude, when she said my name. And then to hear the cheering in the studio, my friends and family and stuff, was so amazing. I got to be probably one of the top 20 moments of my life, that. I know it's only a small thing, but it meant a lot.
John James's fans in the audience were also very good as well, because you know, they could have easily booed when your name got called up, but they're very good to you know, not give anything negative, because that's happened before sometimes.
Has it?
Yeah, when they're in the studio and the other people just start booing.
Really?
So it was very good of them as well, to be kind.
I think they knew we were friends and stuff,
yeah.
So they wouldn't have done that. They knew we were mates. They knew there would have been no hard feelings either way. I'm sure my family and friends would have cheered if John would have been selected. I wish, in one sense, it would have been in the crowd, just because then it would have been
a bit someone out.
It would have been a bit more less, you know, biased, and you know what I mean. We could have heard what the crowd thought, but
I think he knew what the crowd thought.
Yeah, he did. I can't believe John thought they were shouting Corin. Did you see him? He genuinely thought they were shouting Corin's name. And he's like, you hear him chanting Corin, get Corin out. And me and Josie were looking at him like, John, they were shouting you.
Get a generic random housemate out. In no particular order. It's funny, I've noticed, like, each evictions, the doors open faster and close much faster.
Yeah.
So I remember, like, the first few, like, especially Rachel's one, when the doors opened.
And Sunshine's.
Yeah, it was open for ages, and then it stayed open for ages. Yeah. But now it's just like...
One out, one in.
You have to be quick, otherwise the doors will crush you as you try and step through, as they try and close immediately again. I wouldn't be surprised if they just open it just enough for you to squeeze yourself out.
Sunshine's one was quite a wild one as well. They left it open for a little while. That's upset me a little bit, because I could see Sunshine at the top wanting to do her prancing around. And the booze was so severe, she was like, she just caved in. It was like she wasn't going to stand there and have all that.
Well, like I said, when I did the David Copperfield